Hello everyone, welcome back to Major Hi-Fi. I'm Luke. Today we are going to be looking at a cable from Kinera. This is the Dromi. The Dromi is a 6N OCC silver-plated cable. It runs for $199. It is 4-core twist braided with a 1.5mm core, and it comes in MMCX or 0.78mm. So let's go on ahead and open this up. All right, so in the box we get a carrying case for the cable, and inside is the cable itself. And before I show you all of that, let me just show you that this also comes with 3 different terminations. We have a 2.5mm, 3.5mm, and 4.4mm included. I'm gonna go on ahead and put the 3.5mm on here because that's the most common. So here is the cable, and we just stick the termination on like so. Very easy, and we can switch it out, no problem. There's also 2 other cables they released along with this that run for $69 or $299. I will link to those below. It's definitely a very beautiful cable. It has this nice sort of silvery iridescent coating on it. It's just this very shiny, glossy look to it, and it feels really nice in your hand too. It's nice and smooth. It definitely does not tangle easily whatsoever. And I like that the pieces here, the kind of ear loops, are not overly rigid, but they're also not way too soft to the point that you can't sort of manipulate them, but they're not like that kind of you know, the kind of sort of loops that are just so hard set that you have to like really mold them to get them to the right shape. So this Litz silver cable is 122 centimeters long. The plugs are 24 karat gold plated. It contains 50 strands of silver plated 0.05mm OCC and 50 strands of silver plated 0.06mm OCC. And the external metal part is an aluminum alloy anode. Each core diameter of the Dromi is 1.5mm and is insulated independently. This is supposed to avoid sound distortion that can be caused by the skin or proximity effects, and is also supposed to make the wire have a better antioxidant effect. According to Kinera, and I'm sure this is up for debate, they say that copper wire has a better base dive and a better sense of volume, but silver wire has better treble ductility and sound resolution. And they say, and I quote, "A good copper wire sounds like a silver wire, and a good silver wire sounds like a copper wire. So when the two are combined, the sound is sublimated." So they basically want the best of both worlds from copper and silver wires. They claim there's going to be an extended sound stage, that the sound will be clear, it will be more accurate. This cable also has a protective PU skin on it, which is supposed to be more protective than PVC. It is wear, corrosion, and high temperature resistant. They also claim it's more flexible, which I think from using this feels true. Let me talk about my process of testing it out and seeing what it really sounds like. Hey guys, Luke here. Just wanted to pop in and say that if you're enjoying this video, it would be great if you could subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when we make new content, and hit the like button, and leave us a comment if you have any suggestions or questions or anything like that. I would love to talk to you guys more. We would really love some help growing the channel, and you know, just want to make sure that we're reaching our audience and whatnot. So yeah, any support is greatly appreciated, and let's get back to the review. All right, so I tested this with a number of different IEMs. Let me take them out for you. Wait, should I do the little snap edit thing? I don't even know if I can do it right. Okay, we're gonna try. This might look terrible, but like, if I do the, so here's all the IEMs that I use this with. We have the Campfire Andromeda. We have the FIO FH5S. We have the Odyssey Euclid. I did the RAI Penta and the C Audio Neo, which I also have reviewed and compared, and I will link to those videos. I believe that's all the ones I used. So of all of these, I definitely noticed a sound difference on all of them. I found that the Dromi was most advantageous on IEMs that have a bit more of a pronounced mid-range, along with IEMs that have a damper high end. So the Euclid has a bit of a damper high end and a bit of a sharper mid-range to it. Not sharp maybe, but defined. And so does the Andromeda, though the Andromeda is not really damp in the high end, but it definitely has that mid-range going on. And the Penta definitely has that more pronounced mid-range and damper high end. I suppose all of these actually have a bit of a pronounced mid-range, but I did find it on the Penta, Euclid, and Andromeda to be perhaps the most effective, and that's because I feel like the Dromi does a great job of kind of evening things out and really cleaning things up. And a more pronounced mid-range and a damper high-end are, I feel like, in any IEM, no matter how good it is, they have trouble sometimes making those qualities feel clean consistently. I feel like the Dromi brought back some clarity that can get a little bit muddled because of added saturation, because of added coloring, because of rounding off the crispness on the high end of certain IEMs. That sometimes, just needs to be kind of refiltered and repurified a bit. In terms of the Dromi improving soundstage, I did find this to be fairly true also. Once again, cables are not here to like transform your IEM, but they definitely can make an audible difference. And the Dromi most certainly does that in terms of imaging. I feel like the imaging on all of these felt noticeably cleaner and more separated. There was sort of more defined space left between layers, and layers themselves just felt lighter, like they were, further away from one another. I would say I found the soundstage improvements more audible on the Penta and the Andromeda, but it was definitely audible on all of them. I think it just kind of depends on where the soundstage is at already. Like if there's already a fair amount of air there, it feels like it's able to have more room to open things up. They also seem to mention that it could maybe improve low end. I did notice this. I don't think it was the most prominent effect the Dromi had on the IEMs I tested it with. For me, it felt more like a sort of pleasant, positive side effect of the soundstage being a bit more evened out and clarified, which is the low end just had more room to work with and thus felt like less strained. But maybe, yeah, on its own, it could have also brought a little bit of extra cleanliness to the low end, but to me, it felt more like just a result of these sort of general effects that it was already having, a kind of indirect result. So yeah, it's not like a super cheap cable, it's $199, but I think that it delivers, honestly. Like, it doesn't feel like you're getting gypped for your money. It doesn't feel like one of these cables that people are buying just sort of to feel like they bought a better cable or like a kind of mindless upgrade. Like, this is something you'll be able to notice most likely. And I think that when you notice it, you will like the difference it makes. I don't think it's an objectionable difference. It's not one of those like polarizing sounds. A few cables are, but the improvements this cable makes to me feel like they'll be pretty unanimously agreed upon as beneficial. Let me know if you have any other questions about the Dromi that I can answer in terms of sound quality, maybe how I think it might help a certain IEM. I don't have time to test it on every IEM we have, obviously, but I did my best. I will link below to where you can purchase the Kinera Dromi along with their other new cables that have been released. And I will also, of course, link to my reviews or comparison videos, including any of the IEMs on the table here. Per usual, I'll be back soon with some more videos and reviews. Let me know if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see. Leave them in the comments. And yeah, until next time, happy listening.